Okay, this is your first call-up for the national team.
Yes.
Did you play for junior teams, for the national junior teams? And can you just tell us which ones you play for and when?
I played for the 20 national team of Namibia. In 2021, we played World Cup qualifiers against Burundi, home and away game, and I was also in the first 11 of the team.
Okay, the call-up, how did that make you feel?
Being called up for the senior team was really great for me. I felt so happy and so motivated that I am one of the best players and I can showcase my talent here in the national team.
Okay, you made your national team debut against Guinea in SA. How was the game? Are you looking forward to playing again? Can you just take us through that whole process?
Firstly, when I was told that I was going in, I was a bit nervous because it was my first time in my first national team debut. But when I went in the field, I got more motivated, and I'm looking forward to playing the second leg against Equatorial Guinea.
We arrived yesterday whereby the girls had a good run-out session. After the run-out session, we had a stretching session just so we can work around the big muscles, the quads, the hamstrings, a bit of the calves as well. We had a good session in the pool for recovery and activation of our muscles. This morning we are out on the field whereby the girls could feel the ball around the pitch, and it's very humid out there, and I think the girls are doing good in this weather.
Well, the brave Gladiators definitely have the upper hand in this match as they lead 2-0. Hopefully they can take that 2-0 lead into advantage and get a win against Equatorial Guinea on the home turf. Well, the Gravel and Dirt powered by Hola took place this weekend 40 kilometers out of Windhoek with a new route that was set for the riders. But let's take a look at the interview.
Very happy to have been able to take the win at the Gravel and Dirt series here in the Friedenau Dam Challenge. I've been away in Europe for the last few weeks, so it's good to come back. Good to be able to see familiar faces and enjoy a good day on the bike.
My name is Kevin Lowe. I'm 18 years old and I just finished my 40 kilometers here on Farm Friedenau, and I really enjoyed this course. After being sick for a week and a bit, I really didn't know what to expect. Just rode my pace that I'm comfortable with, and I really enjoyed it with all the wildlife around, and I really had an awesome time. Thanks to Fani Steenkamp for the route marking, for Hollard for organizing this event, and for my sponsor for supporting me through the good and the bad times. So I really enjoyed this track, and I'm looking forward to heading back for training now.
My name is Rian. Like I said, I just ride for fun. It's a very nice track. Well laid out, well marked, steep hills, but for every hill there's a downhill.
And what makes it so awesome to ride the e-bike?
Well, if you my age, my knees, then you can't ride with anything else. It's the only thing left. It's either that or nothing.
And I'm here at Friedenau farming gravel and dirt race. I just finished a 66 kilometers. It was fun. It was really tough. A lot of climbing, but the scenery was awesome. The track was awesome. The water points were amazing, and the whole organization of this is just great. And we will see what's coming along. We're going to practice with the dash, probably solo again, and that's it.
Well, the second round of the Central Volleyball Association League began on the 17th of June and will conclude on the 12th of August. A number of matches for men and women were played at the Windhoek Showgrounds on Saturday, where Tumwene Shikage was the reporter on duty. Let's stay tuned for that.
Hi, I'm Wetumene Shikage. Today we are getting up to some volleyball here at the Windhoek Showgrounds. There are 11 teams that are taking part in the CVA League. This is the second leg, and we'll get to see about 11 teams that are taking part. I'll get to chat to one of the coaches and players of one of the winning teams, so stay tuned for that.
My name is Andreas Ngobe, coach NDFA Volleyball Club.
Thank you so much. How was the match?
It was just like was just like a warm-up because that team, it was not very strong. Yeah, we just win 3-0 easy.
Easy, you say?
Yeah, easy.
If it was easy for you, can you describe the game for us? What is volleyball about?
The volleyball is all about the mind. Okay? It's all about the mindset. If you play the volleyball, you must be always play with your mind. It's a let me say, it's a non-mistake.
Okay, and how long have you been the coach for the team? How is the team doing?
Oh, I just started this year currently, but still now we only lost one game as we are speaking.
And how many games did you play?
We played many games. Now we only left with 5 games.
Okay, so winning the CVA league, what would that mean for the team?
It will be like you win the Champions League. Yeah, because they are also competitive teams there.
What are some of the teams that you can mention you guys are skeptical to play against?
Team like Nampol. We played them last week. Yeah, last week we lost. That's the only game we lost. And also DTS. And Allister Coetzee.
Nice.
Those are the only 3 teams we are skating.
Okay, so what is your team tactic that you guys came up with to win the games?
To win the game. Oh.
What will you do better this time?
Oh, it's all about to keep ourselves together, and then we communicate, and then that's why we win that game.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Mekonjo. I play for NDFA, jersey number 18, and yeah.
Okay, how was your game that you played and who did you play against?
The game was fine. We were playing NAST Eliminators. We won 3-0. It was a very interesting game. Young boys, but yeah, they gave us quite a game.
Okay, and how many more games are you playing? Are you looking forward to that?
We have about 3 for today for NDFA. We have only 1 game left. That will be the last one of the day. So for other teams, there's still 3 more games in between before our last game.
Okay, how long have you been playing part of the league and also just volleyball in general?
I joined the CVA in 2017 there. So it's been not so long ago, but yeah.
Okay, and how is the experience?
I can say I'm coping now. I'm an improved player, I have to say. Not the 2017-18 player that I was.
Well, the weekend drop is up next, but right after we visit the marketplace. Well, in front of a substantial group of travelling fans from Walvis Bay, FNB Kudus achieved a bonus point win against FNB Western Suburbs in Kommersdal on Saturday. It was a closely fought match with one of the 2 points difference until different until about halfway through the second half. Kudus fly half Geraldo Biekes with an influential figure with his tactical kicking, including a kick chase that led to a late try by fullback that was Mukilongo. Biekes ended the match with 16 points, which included a drop goal. Here are some of the highlights. Let's take a look at that interview as well.
Started off rough, but we ended it good. Yes. We came here to execute our game plan. We struggled in the beginning, but at the end we executed it great.
Yeah, it was very close at half time. I think you were leading 15-14, but in the end you pulled through. So what pulled it through for you in the end, would you say?
I would say it was the boys' composure, trying to keep calm always in our half and try to get the ball in their half.
Right, and Geraldo, you had a great kick there that led to Ashton's try. Suburbs were on the attack the whole time, but a great counter-attack. So tell us about that.
Well, before I got the ball, Ashton just came to me and said, just give a small chip over. And then when I looked up, there was no one in the back, and I just kicked the ball and he ran down the line.
Right, that was quite a game-changing one. But tell us about this Kudus team, and you got fantastic support here. And do you think you guys can go far this year?
Yes, to all our fans, I just want to give a big thanks to all our fans traveling with us, no matter where we go, always being there for us and supporting us. Even though if we lose or we win, they are always there to support us. And then great game, boys. Well done, on to the next. And yeah, I think this year we are ready.
Well, that was definitely a huge win for Kudus, as they are still hopeful of catching Wanderers, who sit in first place in the NRU Premier League. Well, Spotify is up next, right after we visit the marketplace.
Get more value with the biggest deals at WB. Get 3 times 2 liter Fanta for $50. 250 gram Rick Coffee for just $41.99. 2 kilogram Real Good mixed chicken for $86.99. 2 kilogram Quality Select rice for $29.99. Plus 2 kilogram Sky washing powder for just $39.99. You always get more at Woermann Brock. We care.
Well, schools are busy reopening, which means the return of school sports. The Standard Bank Namibia Secondary School Rugby Under-19 Super League is back in action this week. Well, Walvis Bay Private School got the first winning points as the first team, the PSG Narkies, beat Compact Tsumeb Gymnasium 39-7 on Saturday. We caught up with both captains right after the match, and this is what they had to say.
Well, the NSSR Super League is definitely back. We just had a good game on our hands. I'm joined by SV Koen, captain of the Tsumeb Gymnasium team. SV, zeg over me, hoe was vandaag de wedstrijd?
Yes, het was lekker. Het was een voorrecht om op hierdie manne se veld te speel. Het was 'n lekker game ingebring. Hulle het vir ons omkant gevang, maar ons het hom gevat soos 'n man, ons platte man. Mannetjies, ons is lekker hard, maar het was 'n lekker game, ja.
Oké, zoals je zei, NSSR Superliga is terug. Is het nou tijd om tegen elkaar te spelen weer in die liga. Maar en die tegen wat je afgaat, hoe was voorbereiding voor jou? Je was dan een beetje bezig in juni met die wat je nou tegen privaatskolen gespeeld hebt. Maar hoe was voorbereiding voor de wedstrijd?
Yes, ons het 'n program gekry in die vakansie waar al die manne elke dag moet hard werk, hulle fiksheid goed instuur en toe die skool weer begin, toe het ons hom weer van voor af gevat en lekker deur gegaan.
Okay. So 'n groot wedstrijd wat julle nog gespeeld het. NSSR Superliga is julle se eerste jaar in 'n paar jaar. En ja, hoe voel je net oor die Superliga in general?
Ja, het is 'n baie jong spannetjie, klein spannetjie, maar ja, soos jy sê, 2019 was die laaste jaar wat ons in die finaal was. Okay. Maar ja, hierdie ons begin van voor af, lekker jong mannetjies, ons werk op. Oor 2 jaar dan gaan ons hulle weer mooi vat, maar ons werk nou hard.
Okay, nee, terug so, dankie.
Dankie.
Well, we are joined by Michael Koopman, captain of the winning team Narkies. Michael, goeie game gespeeld, lekker gespeeld. Ik zie die win was bietjie teen jou vandag, maar zeg of hoe was die game?
Die game was lekker, een beetje slecht begin. Bietjie baie foute gemaakt in die begin, maar op die einde van die dag bietjie goed afgerond. Later bietjie mekaar weer begin vind en die system gespeeld en toe het ons weer begin execute en toe score ons, ja.
Okay, jullie het zo ver goed gespeeld in de NSSR Superliga. Wat is die plan voor die span in die Superliga vanjaar? Wat voel je, kan jullie beter doen vanjaar compared to last year?
Ons aim nou is om tenminste 4 en meer wedstrijden te winnen en om in die semifinale te komen. Maar ons main aim is definitief om in die finale te komen en die Superliga te fight.
Okay, je kent die games gaan tijd wees. Het gaan definitief tough games wees, maar je take je voor die wedstrijd, voor die NSSR weer beginnen. Was ook een beetje bezig. Zeg ons, met wat was je bezig voor voorbereidings voor die rugbywedstrijd zover?
Na Gimse game, toen heb ik nog examen geschreven in die week na die. Toen gaan ons in het begin van June, toen gaan ons Pearl toe voor die Napsu toe. Een week in Windhoek en een week in Pearl. Toen ik terugkom, dus ik net een week bij de huis en toen ga ik weer Johannesburg toe voor die academieweek toe en voor 2 weken in Johannesburg. En toen ik terugkom, toen zit alweer school. En toen oefenen ons alweer, laatste week. Niks vakantie gehad.
Je kan definitief zeggen, was heel tijd net bezig, maar hoe voel je? Is je gereed voor het seizoen? I mean, school is nog open, is nog weer tijd voor boeken lezen, maar hoe voel je? Is het lichaam na voor games?
Misschien ja, maar ik moet definitief nog weer aan mijn lichaam werken. En ja, nog mijn lichaam, vooral aan mijn school een beetje werk. Toen ben ik een beetje zeer gemaakt, maar ja, nee, een paar goede maanden werk. Maar ja, ik zie niet voor dit seizoen.
Oké, nee. Recht zo, dank je.
Dank je wel.
Oké, let's check.
Well, Namibia's head coach and director of rugby, Allister Coetzee, says he aims to win 2 matches at the World Cup in France with his team from the land of the brave at the second national training camp attended by 45 players in Swakopmund on Saturday. We have footage from that, so let's take a look.
Coach, very high intensity training session. What is your feeling about your team?
No, I'm pleased with where the players are, to be honest. I mean, they all came from different clubs, different conditioning levels. A lot of them have played competition still. So when you play competition, you normally decondition. So what is happening currently is we're trying to get everyone on the same standard. That's why we've got baseline tests like running the Bronco. A big improvement since the last one we did in Windhoek. So this was the second one, and a couple of guys did it for the first time. But I'm really pleased with where the conditioning is at the moment. There's still a lot of room for improvement. You must remember that the All Blacks, who are, in our section, they've played 2 games already. We haven't played any. They played Argentina, and so that is where I'm gauging and I'm looking at and trying to make sure that we get these guys to a level where we can be really competitive.
Coach, we are heading to the Cup of Nations. What are your expectations for your team?
Yeah, the Nations Cup is it's basically preparation for us. So I mean, every test that we play, we want to win, because you win a couple of games at Nations Cup. It helps with the seeding in the world ranking. You win Uruguay, you win Chile, you move up in world ranking, which is also important for us. Although we've got our objective is to make sure we work on combinations, we give players game time, we want to look at our systems. A test match is always their first objective is to win it. So we want to make sure that we're well prepared to win test matches as well.
Coach, in terms of the performance of the team, you've walked a road, you've journeyed with the team. Where are you now in terms of where you started off?
Yeah, look, it started off last year when we had a tour to Canada and Spain, and we had a match here, I think at a local game at home. And there's a lot of growth, since last year, and then we played in Mzansi Cup. And that was actually a huge step up. The players in Mzansi, they started raising the bar in terms of their conditioning, their physicality, which will help, at test matches.
This month on DSTV Premium, Nora is back as life in the Big Apple continues to surprise her and her outrageous family and friends.
I have an idea.
You do? 2 families battle for the coveted camp trophy in this hilarious family-friendly movie.
That was fun.
That was something.
And F1 hits the tarmac as Red Bull continues their push for dominance.
Absolutely epic!
It's your moment to be entertained by staying connected to DSTV Premium.
It takes heart and all the soul. A head stuck in the game. It takes every bone in your body, all the blood in your veins. And then more blood, and more sweat, more tears, all your hopes and your dreams. It takes conquering fears. It's late nights and weekends, 6 to 6s, 9 to 5s. It takes sacrifice and suffering every moment of our lives. It takes kick after kick, being kicked when you're down. It takes fighting for hours for inches of ground. It takes every last line out, every last second spent. It takes absolute devotion. It takes 100%.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with rugby news first. It is France 2023, the Rugby World Cup that starts in September, and news from the Rugby World Cup is that Johnny Sexton, the fly-off of Ireland, he's been suspended for 3 games, and that is leading up to the World Cup, and the reason for that is verbal misconduct that was towards match officials. That was after the loss of Leinster against La Rochelle. That was in the Champions League, or the Heineken Champions Cup final in May this year. So he's got a 3-match ban. That means that the 3 warm-up games that Ireland will play before the World Cup will be sufficient for him to play again in the first game, the opening game of Ireland's Rugby World Cup campaign. They play on 9 September, their opening game against Romania. A more severe punishment was expected for Johnny Sexton. He's 38 years old, and the rugby world at the moment is still divided on that. Johnny Sexton also indicated that after this year's World Cup that he will retire. Moving on to tennis news, and after Wimbledon was completed, it is good news for Marketa Vandrousova. She is the new women's Wimbledon finalist winner for 2023. A great story, as she is the first unseeded player in history to win the tournament, and it's also reflected now on the world rankings. She moves up 32 places, and she is now moved up from 42 to number 10 in the world. That's the new world rankings that came out. So great performance by Marketa Vandrousova. She beat Ons Jabeur of Tunisia in the final by 6-4 and 6-4. The current world number 1 in the women's division is still Iga Swiatek of Poland. Swiatek she got to the quarterfinals of Wimbledon this year, but remained number 1 in the world. Another player that made lots of progress on the world rankings is Elina Svitolina. She is from the Ukraine. She was also unseeded in the tournament and played in the semi-finals, and she lost to Marketa Vandrousova. And it's Elina Svitolina that also moves up from number 76 in the world to number 27 in the world. That's up 49 positions. The number 1 men's player still in the world is Carlos Alcaraz, and that he confirmed by winning the men's Wimbledon final against Novak Djokovic, and that was a tough 5-setter, but Carlos Alcaraz remained number 1 in the world. That was his second major win after winning also the US Open in 2022. And continuing international sports news with athletics news, it's results from the Diamond League Silesia event that was in Poland. Good result for Southern African interest. It was Wade van Niekerk of South Africa winning the 400 meters in 44.08 seconds. That's his best 400 meters time in 7 years since his knee injury. He's the gold medalist in the 2016 Olympic Games, and then he ran a world record 43.03 seconds. Also a good 100 meters result for South African Akani Sambini, and he won the 100 meters in a time of 9.97 seconds, and he beat the world champion Fred Curley in a photo finish, Curley in a time of 9.98 seconds in second position. To close off today's international sports news, it is transfer news from soccer, and it is Chelsea that signed the 18-year-old Brazilian winger. His name is Angelo Gabriel. They signed him from Santos, and it's for undisclosed figure. And this Gabriel made his debut in the Brazilian top league when he was just 15 years and 308 days old. So he's a good prospect. He signed for Chelsea. And then also negotiations ongoing for Tottenham Hotspur striker, that is Harry Kane. There's a possibility that he will move to Bayern Munich. That's not been done yet. There's still reports that he's going to be offered, that there was an offer for 70 million euros for him to move from Tottenham Hotspur to Bayern Munich. And it is Harry Kane's contract that expires with Tottenham Hotspur in 2024 only, but they're not playing Champions League next year, so he wants to move to a club that plays Champions League in 2024. That's the international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day and sport week, and we talk again international sport tomorrow. Goodbye.
Well, that's all that we have for you on today's Sports Wrap show. Sports Wrap will be back again tomorrow. Same time, same place. Goodbye.